Well, British Prime Minister Theresa May has assured South African businesses that the United Kingdom's Brexit talks will not affect trade on the African continent. In fact, May has committed to invest billions of pounds and maintain aid on the continent.
The British Prime Minister is on a whirlwind tour of 3 African countries.
British Prime Minister Theresa May is on an African visit, visiting South Africa, Nigeria and Kenya this week. She's committed what she calls an ambitious partnership on the African continent. She's even supporting calls for Africa to be represented on the United Nations Security Council. Prime Minister May maintains that Africa should not worry about the UK's decision to leave the European Union.
We will today confirm plans to carry over the European Union's Economic Partnership Agreement with the Southern African Customs Union and Mozambique, once the EU's deal no longer applies to the UK.
Prime Minister May, who is also under pressure to increase social spending back home, is also committed not to cut foreign aid on the continent. She says the UK's Development Finance Institution, CDC, is set to plough £3.5 billion over the next 4 years on the continent, and the British government will also step up investment.
I can today announce an additional £4 billion programme of UK investment in African economies that will pave the way for at least another £4 billion of private sector financing.
Land expropriation without compensation does not seem to bother Prime Minister May, unlike US President Donald Trump. She says she's also comforted by President Cyril Ramaphosa's commitment that the proposed policy will not amount to land grabs.
But I welcome the comments that he has already made about us approaching land reform, bearing in mind the economic and social consequences. And I think he's made a reference to no smash and grab land reform.
Prime Minister May has committed to a new approach to development, while she faces pressure back home about increasing social spending. This will, however, not lead to cuts in foreign aid on the continent. She says investment on the continent will lead to stability. And she's also spoken at length about the fight of terrorism. Ulilani Philip, SABC News, Cape Town.